Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are coming to you about college signing days, and what we're going to be talking about today is the College Countdown Signing Day Toolkit. And so we're going to be going through that to talk about the resources and the ways that you can use this signing day toolkit to help your students celebrate their next steps, whether it be college, military, or a career. Let's just go through some housekeeping. This presentation is in webinar mode, so we cannot see or hear you, but you can ask questions. You can use the Q&A down at the bottom, or if you want to chat with us directly, you can use either of those tools during this webinar. And we will have time for questions at the end. Now you're going to see a poll pop up. We'd like to poll the group. We want to know, which month do you plan to host your college signing day event? March, April, May, or June? Be sure to get those votes in. We want to know when you plan to host your signing day event. And we will share the results back with the group so that you can know too. Okay, so most of you, it looks like it's evenly split. That's very interesting, between April and May. Some of y'all are getting a jump start on signing day and hosting it in April. And then I would, not unexpected that May is a big day or month for that too. So fantastic. Thanks so much, Kirsten, for showing those results. Okay, just real quick, I want to remind everyone about the goal of College Countdown Mississippi. We want to provide every graduating high school senior the opportunity to apply at an application day event, complete the FAFSA, and recognize their post-secondary plans at a college signing day in the spring. And so thank you for joining us and being a member of College Countdown Mississippi. We recognize our school members that participate in the events, but also have a special strategy or success, and we share it out with our community and the public. So all of our schools, if they participate in events, can be considered as a College Countdown School of Excellence. We select 3 schools each year that earn this distinction for every single campaign: application day, FAFSA day, and signing day. And of course, we ask you to submit data to provide that information to us. But we also celebrate our premier schools. Schools that register and submit data by the deadline of each year will earn the premier school designation. And here we celebrate our 2020-2021 School of Excellence for Application Day, the FAFSA Challenge, and Signing Day. So you too can be one of these designated schools, and we will celebrate you all year long as a College Countdown School of Excellence.
All right, so as we get started with the information to prepare for the college signing day events that you'll be hosting in the next few months, we just wanted to give everyone kind of a history of where college signing days came from. The idea came from the Better Make Room program, which was an initiative of former First Lady Michelle Obama's Reach Higher initiative. So those videos that you saw in the beginning are examples. If you go to the Better Make Room website and look at their YouTube YouTube channel. These are really great ideas that you can have being played in preparation for your college signing day. Maybe you do that through your school announcements. Maybe you do it at the event. I've been to a signing day in the past where they had a whole playlist back to back from a YouTube around college signing day that they played. That was from Better Make Room. So Better Make Room is the initiative that first created the idea of college signing day, and it was around the celebration that happens with athletic signings and the fanfare that occurs there. But then they wanted to change it and make it to where it was like, let's make it a celebration and fanfare for every student that's planning to go to post-secondary. And so, like Brandy said in the beginning, we're celebrating a variety of post-secondary options here. And so it's not just, although the word college signing day is there, it's what are your plans after graduation? Is that a one-year certificate program? Is that a associate's degree or community college route? Is that a 4-year degree? Is that military? It's really making sure the students have some sort of plans once they walk across that stage at graduation. And so the concept of college signing day is celebrating what that is. They worked hard to get here. You've supported them at the school through high school and maybe before that. And so it's celebrating what they plan to do in their next steps after graduation. One thing that we wanted to highlight here is that Better Make Room is actually still a program. It's been recently acquired by some national organization, and it is a program that you can still register with, and they actually still give grants out to support your college signing day. So one of the things that we want to make sure that you do is that you go to the Better Make Room website and you register your school so that it's getting recognized on the high level social media platform. That's the national Better Make Room. If you just look up Better Make Room hashtag or the Instagram or social media account, there's a lot of followers there, and we would love to have Mississippi schools highlighted. So make sure that you make that in part of your to-do list from today is to go to the Better Make Room website and register your school's event with the potential of getting some additional support there, whether that's financial support or it's social support on social media.
Fantastic. So now let's jump right in and let's talk about step one. Step one is outlining your plan. It's deciding what you're going to do. And this is an interesting time because it's post-pandemic, and it's really a great time now for you to decide, how are we going to do this year? It may look different than last year, and so you may have to make some changes, but now's the time to start thinking about, what is my plan and what are we going to do? Here is a highlighted video of one of our premier schools, Meridian High School, that we want you to hear directly from a site coordinator on how they put together their signing day planning.
Hi, my name is Shirley Silliman. I'm an academic counselor at Meridian High School in Meridian, Mississippi. I'm responsible each year for planning and organizing college signing day, which we call it Meridian High School Senior Signing Day as well. 17, I was given a task as site coordinator at that particular time to kind of spearhead college signing day. And I took it as, creating it as a massive event, something that the students can kind of, say, hey, we have this before graduation, this grand event before graduation. So in comparison to getting excited for graduation, we wanted them to be excited as well when they exit, have plans in place for whether it's military, college, technical school, trade school. So I kind of had that mindset going forward, not something, to where I'm like, oh, I really don't want to be a part of this. So I kind of just started planning, drafting, and trying to create something that will draw them in. Because we have many different events, and a lot of students say, oh, I don't want to participate. That's going to be boring. So I kind of started planning like, okay, graduation is, their names are being called. We can do that same method, but why not get the announcer that, does the basketball games, because he had this wonderful voice, bringing someone in that can just make it just like game day type situation. So I kind of pieced that together and like, okay, we want to give back too, so we'll have students participating. And then I brought in like a couple of students that had wonderful voices. So we're going to do a tribute to the faculty, the staff, and then your student body. Because with state testing and all the other things that they're having to do at the end of the year, we needed something that say, hey, this is also an uplifting event as well. So a lot of planning, a lot of reaching out to different people within the community, within the schools. That's basically how it got started in 2017. I like, okay, how should this look? And I did use a lot of the resources that were sent to me. Just looking at and just Googling and looking at Instagram posts, like the hashtag, excuse me. And kind of like, okay, well, I like this, but we want to make it a little bit grander, so kind of the scheme of how it kind of took place. And we've been doing it ever since 2017. I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people, on their campus that are willing to come in and assist. That's basically, you kind of get a little anxiety thinking that, oh, I have to pull this off by myself. But there are plenty of people with different ideas that they can bring in, create a small committee. And, that way it takes a whole lot, off of, that particular person. So that's basically what I did, had the music teacher assisting, the math teacher teaches, he plays the piano, brought him in, and give me your 2, 3, or 4 best students that will be able to do a couple of selections. The band, hey, we want to add a little bit, how college will really be, that band side of it, going to games. So brought in the band director so they, if you're kind of feeling like, oh, I don't think I can pull this off, you have a support team right around you, just individual, and it's just sending out an email and say, just basically saying, who can I get to assist with this? I even had the graphics teacher to create a flyer, the program. So it took a lot off of me. And then we kind of kept those same people in place to make it, more purposeful and, more hands-on approach that way you're not overwhelmed. So team support, reaching out to the community as well. I brought in different speakers. Like this past college signing day event, we have a young lady that she's acting. She's an actress. So she's in California at one of the art schools. She came back and she was able to speak to them. If you don't go to college, you have, these different things in different measures. So, and that's always inspirational to the students to see someone come back and just say, hey, if this doesn't work, there's other avenues that you can seek. So I would just say to any counselor or any person that has been assigned to this task, even the principal, came in and assisted with different ideas and things of that nature. So people are willing to help. Then you bring your students on board also. If it's your student council members, they come up with ideas. How do you want this planned? And I've actually visited different schools just to see. Let me see what I can gather from this particular school, like Northeast. They did, oh, I like that. I'm going to add that next year to what we're doing. We may do a little pre-events, little things throughout before the actual event. Like in the hallways. And I think I might have taken that from the Toolkit, doing your bulletins in the hall, students come down and they're able to sign different things like that.
I always think it's great to hear from a practitioner in the schools. And so thanks again to Meridian for taking the time to speak with us. But it's really about what works best for your school and your community. And so obviously the first thing you'll have to do is set a date of the event. Many of you have already shared with us that you have a month or maybe even a date in mind, or maybe you're already starting to plan your event. But it's important to develop that plan and create a timeline for your event. Logistics, where are you going to host the event? Who's going to participate? Do you have a team that can help you, as Ms. Sullivan mentioned? And what's the best way for everyone in your student population to participate so that you can build a college culture and highlight your seniors and what they decide to do with their next step in life? Be sure, as Kirsten went over, register with Better Make Room. Share a save the date. How can you promote the event using the hallways in school, but also Remind 101 or call outs that you do to build community support, and of course social media, not something that we can not participate in and be able to get the word out very easily when it comes to the community as a large. And then what are your supplies? Are you physically going to have students sign? Do you need pens and poster board? Are you going to invite colleges to come? So making sure that you have that access that you need. And then, schedule a test run. How is this going to go? Are you going to have the band and the MC there? Does everyone know what their role is going to be? So making sure that you pull the team together and make sure everyone's on the same page.
All right, so now we are at step 2, which is select a delivery option. And so we've provided 4 different options based off of what your school's ability to bring in visitors versus not, access to the students, but then also what the capacity that you have in your team, in your school to do this. And so we want to go through each one of these and kind of talk about them in a little bit more detail. So the option 1 would be in person. And so the delivery option would be in person. You'd host the event fully in person and usually during the school day. And so this could be, utilizing your gym or your auditorium. The picture we just showed was a few years ago at Murrah High School, where they did it in their gym. We've seen people take what was their awards night and kind of mesh it together with the college signing day. And so that's done more formally in the auditorium where students go across the stage. It could be a socially distant celebration on the football field. If your school still has some regulations as far as visitors, or having not a lot of max capacity type of seating, the outside ability. I know that we've seen this past year a lot of utilization of outdoor spaces, football fields, soccer fields, that type of thing to host celebrations and school events. You could even bring in some sort of pre-event, like Meridian mentioned, doing that driving parade celebration could be a part of it. Maybe it is that. Maybe you do it on a big night or a big day, that's senior celebration, and they decorate their vehicles, or they have their families drive through if you can't have outside visitors, that type of thing. One thing also that we've seen that's been really successful, if your students have a senior trip, Meridian mentioned this, we've seen this a few years ago. One school, in the hallway leading out to where they were all going to get on their buses for their senior trip, they had butcher paper that had each of the schools that the students were planning to go to. And so they were released to go sign with their schools. And so they then left that up there over the next year so that the underclassmen could see where each one of the seniors from this last year had signed and committed to go for post-secondary. That doesn't take a lot of capacity. That's really a great way that you can host a signing day, literally signing and celebration. And you're utilizing in a part of already existing events. I know sometimes getting out of the classroom and getting students, to disrupt instruction time, like Meridian mentioned, is there's that state testing that will start soon, things like that. So kind of think about what's already existing that you can maybe, piggyback on and add to as a part of that as well. So your option 2 is student submitted decisions. This is where the students can send you a photo like what you see here, them wearing their shirt. In the toolkit, there's different school names that they can highlight and sign and say, you know, this is why I'm going here. You can do it themed of like have them, you know, decorate their space, whatever that looks like, and you have them submit a photo or video, or of them doing a fun reveal like wearing the hat or taking off the jacket and showing the shirt, and have them submit it. And then you could compile it, and it could be a video, it could be a social media campaign where you highlight your seniors and where their commitments are for the month of May type of thing. And so this is an option that if you want to utilize that free platform, if you're like, I've got no budget to do this, I can't do this, then this is a great way to really utilize. There's already social media, like Brandy mentioned, you can't not promote this type of thing on social media, your district, your school, the students, and you know, they're already on it. Why don't we just utilize that as an option for really encouraging them to continue to make a positive impact and make it fun, make it in their communities to really engage each other. You know, you could make challenges off of it if you wanted to. So there's a lot of, you know, social media trends and things like that that you definitely want to pay attention to. And then option 3 is doing it virtually live. So whether this is you do it where you're live streaming your event, and so maybe if outside visitors can't come, you can do a Facebook Live or an Instagram Live through your district's page or your school's page, and the families and the community can celebrate. Or if it's a convening some type of way, we still got a virtual environment. Obviously, you're joining us here on a webinar today. And so that's something to think about. We all have gained from the last 2 years is the ability to really utilize that virtual space. And so just thinking about how can we do this? Maybe you do it through a CCR class, like you think about it that way, where the CCR class gets on at a time and the classroom announces out to everybody. So use your creativity. I know as an educator, you have a lot of that. And I really respect that skill that you're bringing to this. And so utilize your team as well that you're going to build and have those ideas. And then the last is just individual student highlights. So we kind of talked about this earlier. I know you could highlight the decisions on your social media. You could do pre-recorded videos. You could push it out to them. Also, like public announcements, you could, you know, do in your community. How does information get shared? Is that, you know, a centralized social media where it's visit whatever town? Maybe work with your chamber of commerce or businesses, and the businesses could highlight individual students and their post-secondary decisions. So really making it like a true community thing, so where it's not just only at the school, but it could be on other schools or on other organizations' social media. Or maybe if you go to the local restaurant, they've taken 5 of the seniors and they're going to highlight them and created a little profile about what their college decision is, and you can have fun with it. It's maybe like a scavenger hunt through the city to see, you know, where the students are and highlighting them, or maybe the social media takeover highlighting in that space. So it could be individual students in that way within that kind of broader community. And then those yard signs that we all gained 2 years ago is another great way to encourage you know, building that culture, because the whole point, like Brandy mentioned, of College Countdown and Signing Day is they've worked so hard. They've done those application days. They've been supported by you all in the school. They've been supported to getting their financial aid done. And now they are at the point where it's what's the next step? Let's celebrate that. And whatever is the best fit for your community is what we want you to do. We just want you to highlight some options here for you. So the video that I'm about to show is another school and site coordinator. This is actually our School of Excellence for Signing Day from last year. We all know in this virtual space that sometimes that recording isn't ideal. And so just wanted to give you a full disclosure. This is going to be more audio, so make sure you're really paying attention to this. The video is not as good. We had some connection issues, but the words are really what we want you all to hear from about how this school really made that signing day as a part of building the college culture for the whole school. So this is from Union High School.
Okay, well, I'm Deanna Bush. Rush, and I'm a counselor at Union High School in Union, Mississippi. If you don't know where that is, it's in Newton County. It's it's right on the Newton and Neshoba County line. We have students from both counties. It's the largest signing day that we've had so far. We kind of made it a bigger deal every year, and this was the biggest deal, I guess, that we've made. But it was a great experience for our students. We had a lot of parental support. This year, we brought in all of our students in the high school. Typically, it had only been kind of a parent event and the students, but this year we brought in 9th, 10th, and 11th graders as well to be part of it. And so that really helped the environment. There was a lot more hype to it. I wanted to do that not only to give the graduating seniors a little more recognition, but also to make those underclassmen really start thinking more seriously about, oh, this is going to be me soon. You know, this is really a decision I'm going to have to be making either next year or in the next couple of years. And just to kind of, you know, we talk about college, but to see it real, to see it happening to some of their friends, some of their teammates, I thought might make a better impact on them. And so I loved doing it that way. I think the entire student body did. So I think we'll continue to do it that way. We did it in our gymnasium. So we had plenty of room, and, you know, due to COVID, we had not gotten to have a lot of assembly type events this year. So that also made it special because it was one of the few that we got to do this year.
So now we're going to talk about the next step when it comes to your college signing day. And that's where we want to celebrate with you. In this, social media crazed world, we want you to be able to share with us, tag us on your posts about celebrating your students for signing day. And you can use the platforms that you're already using, whether that be Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, but just make sure that you're tagging Get to College or you're using hashtag College Countdown Mississippi, College Signing Day, Better Make Room. The more hashtags, the better. And we will use that to determine our school of excellence. So not only do we want to celebrate and share your students with the state of Mississippi, but we also want to use it to determine our school of excellence. So be sure to let us celebrate with you and your school district. Now, let's just briefly summarize your next steps. This will give you a way to check the boxes as you're planning and executing your day. Create your planning team, outline your event and what type will it be. Again, it may look different than last year. You may try something new this year. Set a date for your event and assign tasks. You do not have to do all of this by yourself. So rely on those volunteers in your team. Begin promoting it within your school district, your community, the faculty and staff and administrators in your school district. And then, of course, the students and families, if they're able to, want to be able to share in this time with you and your students. Host a check-in meeting just to make sure, again, everyone's on the same page and prep for that event. Wherever it's going to be, you want to make sure that you have all the necessary resources and tools you need to have a beautiful event for your students. And then celebrate the event, have a great time, and then let us join in that celebration with you by tagging us and using hashtags on social media. What questions do you have? I see there's a one comment. Thank you so much. We appreciate you posting in the chat, but you can use the question and answer. You can also chat with us if you have any questions at this point.
Brittany,
Or
one question
suggestions.
came over when you were talking was asking about the recording. So we will be sending out the recording as well as a link to the PowerPoint PDF tomorrow. So you'll be getting it tomorrow about 10 via your email. So if you want to come back and revisit, again, all of this material is in your College Countdown Mississippi Toolkit. We combined all of the 3 initiatives into one. So even the videos that we shared are there as well, hyperlinked into that. So that is available at any time that you are looking for it. I don't see any other questions coming through at this point, Brandy. So I will, oh, there's one. I want to be able to include all my students. What are some ways that we can include students who are not planning to attend college, but are planning to join the workforce? You want to tackle that one first?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one thing that you could do is you could have a separate table or a separate section, a separate place. You could invite some of those companies. For example, I live on the coast of Mississippi. We are highly industrialized. And, if we were to invite Ingalls Shipbuilding to a signing day, they would love to come. And so, somehow, if there's a way to have certain careers that, a lot of your students are doing or moving on to, that might be a great way to include them, just as you would the military branches, just as you would a college. And so you could make that as general or as specified as possible.
Amy, I know if you're looking kind of to hear from someone in a school that's done this, I went to Warren Central's Mississippi Signing Day, College Signing Day a few years ago, and they have a Academy of Innovation and they have an Academy of Entrepreneurship. And they highlighted those students that were going straight to the workforce, either because they've already achieved with their early college and associates while in high school, or that's their plan is for that entrepreneurship kind of program is to go straight into the workforce. So Warren Central did it in a very organized manner. And I think they did it kind of highlighted. It didn't use the workforce. They said something along like entrepreneurship or something like that. And they had a sign for them to sign as well. So like Brandy said, utilizing those large, if there's a certain group or certain organization or certain employer that a lot of your students go to, but like you said, recognizing all your students, if you want to reach out, I know Warren Central did that in the past. And so you may want to kind of ask them questions and connect and see kind of how they presented that verbiage wise for the event. All right, we haven't had any other questions come in, but if you do come up with any questions, feel free to reach out to Brandy or I through the College Countdown email or through our direct emails. We are excited to help you all, and we cannot wait to see your pictures, your videos, the way that you celebrate your students or those hashtags. You may even see some of us at those events in the future. We'd love to get back out there and celebrate your students. So Brandy, I'll let you kind of wrap up for today. We do have a comment in the chat.
Oh yeah, so Jennifer shared, we have our faculty and staff wear their college apparel this day. And pre-COVID, she invited graduates to come back and share their successes. Obviously something that Meridian mentioned. And so I definitely think that's a wonderful way of building that college going culture and having your alumni come back and even talk about their different choices. If you were to have someone who went directly into the workforce, come back and speak. Someone who went to college, come back and speak. Someone who went into the military. So that's definitely ways to diversify and then use your resources for sure. So I'm Brandy Lindell. My partner is Kirsten Dufour. We co-manage College Countdown Mississippi, and we're happy to speak with you anytime. Email us, you can chat with us, you can call us. We're happy to help and support you. And we really want to highlight your efforts in your school as well as your students. So any opportunity that you have to share information with us, we would love to speak with you or receive your email with pictures, videos, and tagging us on social media.
Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time, your energy, and your efforts, like Brandy said. So we can't wait to see those hashtags. We'll start looking. I saw, Brandy, there was one that says March, so we're going to have to start searching for those. And we are excited to celebrate your class of 2022. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks so much.